Hey,
everyone, and welcome to another episode of Your Journey, where we gather stories of resilience, growth, and self discovery. Today, our guest is Anna Sole.
hello
Hello.
everybody.
And
I am so honored to be here,
I
even
know,
though I didn't know I would be, but I'm very honored to be here with my best friend,
start
Lena.
the episode with a fun fact about you. I know that your name is Anna Sole, but what I know about you as well is that you have a really long name. And I think you're the only person with the longest name I've ever known. So would you like to share with everyone your
I
full
would
name?
love to. I would love to. I think I am going to make it my personality. I technically have 8 names.
Yeah.
So my full thing would be Annasole Allegra, Vittoria Azzurra, Asia Francesca Arianna Carlotta Podesta, which is my surname.
Julio Ricardo Montoya de Rosa Ramirez.
No, I love that. Have you been able to use all of your names in the world?
Absolutely not. Meaning that I don't even have to sign with it because there's a comma after my first name. So I just sign with my first name and my last name. It's just my family who knows that I have them. And I have to say that when Lena and I created a fake email account, I do not remember why. I do not remember what secret adventure we were on, but we used one of my third or fourth name, I think, to create the Gmail account, Hotmail account. I don't
Yeah.
remember. That was it. That's the only time I used it.
And I feel like, that's a good way to use it to create, fake accounts, but still would lead back to your name.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Soundproof strategy. No one would catch us.
Well, given that you also have many names, I know that you wear many hats. So would you like to share with us the different hats you wear every day?
Very glad they're hats. I was really scared you were going to out my third, fourth, and fifth personality. So, yes, right now, well, just like Lena, I'm also an actress, which, people have a very glamorous idea of what being an actress is. And then the reality of it is that that's like a 1% of working actors who have that kind of life. The
Oh,
99% remaining of actors basically spend a lot of time auditioning and
yeah.
then, not booking things for ages. And then they book something and then they don't book anything for ages. So in the in between, you have to find something to fill in the time and also, sustain yourself, sustain your
Yes.
life. I've been teaching Italian for many years now,
Mhm.
and that's something that I still do. I work with a company that does something completely different in Italy.
Mhm.
So, not artistically related, but the company is in the business of investigations.
Ooh.
I don't personally do the fun part, but I help the company deal with some clients and just some internal organizational things.
Okay.
And then I think, most fun thing that I currently have as a job, I guess, at this point, is I create cultural content on TikTok.
I know
Mostly
you are such
mostly on
a
TikTok.
big influencer with over 200,000 followers. And I've learned so much Greek and Roman ancient history from your page.
Thank you. Honestly, like, happened out of nowhere. I have my background in Latin and ancient Greek and history, and I love it. Like, I always talk about it. I would always talk about ancient history or mythology or ancient languages, linguistics. And then one day, my loved ones were like, why don't you like start talking about it on TikTok? And I was like, Yeah, why don't I? And it was so fast. In a couple of weeks, I had, I think, like followers, I want to say 14, 15 days, 20,000 followers. And on TikTok, there still is, but there was the Creator Rewards program, which is basically if you have more than 10K, I think, followers, then you can start to monetize your views. And while I was doing it for fun, part of me was also like, I would like to have that side income come in, and it didn't. It was because at the time I had created my account in Italy, which was because I literally did it in I don't know, like 15 days that I was in Italy. I was visiting my family, and Italy doesn't let you monetize. So then that's the fun story. I had to literally just close the account and do it all over again. So you have to do it from a country that allows monetization, which in Europe is like France or the UK, I think a bunch of other countries, or you do it in the US, I think the Philippines as well. So I had to do it again and again.
Before anything else, let's plug your account. What is your account?
My account is Ancient Girl, and the like TikTok name is Ancient Stuff Girl.
All right, so be sure
Thank you for the free advertisement.
Of course, for our many listeners.
I am sure that there will be. But yeah, so then I had to do it again, and I was really discouraged because like I don't want to have to start from scratch. And then again, it was so fast. Like in a month, it was 50,000, and that to me, because I had been on TikTok before, to me it just shows how it doesn't really matter, like you as a person on TikTok. I don't think anymore it matters, like I don't know, it matters a lot more the content. So as long as you pick a content that has a niche that is strong enough and that has interest in it, then like growth is really fast and really organic. At least that was the experience for me.
Okay, let's ask one of the questions, which is what is like a challenge that you faced in life and how did you overcome it?
I guess, left aside, I think what you would call like natural challenges, like losing people, like losing the people that you love, I'm not sure you can overcome that. You can just learn to live with that. I think in recent years, ever since we've graduated, just adjusting to the reality of what the life in our line of business is, meaning like acting, that has been a very big struggle for me. I would say a very big challenge for me, because I don't know, and I think like you're like me in that, like you think, oh, I put in the work and I did everything just right, and so 1 + 1 is 2. So I graduate, and then you're gonna get an agent, and you're gonna get a manager, and you're gonna get all of the auditions, and they're gonna select you for beautiful projects, and your career is just gonna take off. And then you go in the real world, and you're like, no, it doesn't work like that. Meaning, it doesn't matter if you have, you put in the work and you have a solid training background and you did your prep and you have a good method and you look right for whether it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I think in acting, and I think this applies to other lines of business as well, you just need to be resilient. You just need to be resilient enough that you just keep doing it for 5, 10, 15, 20 years until one blessed day, and I'm choosing to say blessed in honor of Shakespeare, you just finally get the right opportunity at the right time for the right part in the right project. And I think that, I feel like most actors are just waiting for that. And those that are able to stay in it and not give up are the ones that are going to be rewarded. I say this not really feeling that I've overcome this challenge at all. Like I struggle with it every single day. Okay.
I feel that too.
I'm not sure if I'm answering your question at all. I'm so sorry.
No, I think you've answered it beautifully because sometimes the challenges that we face isn't usually overcome overnight, but it's really something that you have to deal with every day, and you just have to keep living through it. And that's really the life of a working actor.
And it's so hard because, as you're saying, like you have to live through it. Like you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna start living my life once, I got that part. My career is established, because you end up pausing your life for what,
Yeah.
10 years? And you can't. Like you have to start, I don't know, like you want to get married, you want to start a family, you want to have kids, you want to have a house. It's really hard. Again, because in acting especially, it's so hard because many times you don't have the financial stability to do that because you are choosing not to focus on other jobs that would give you that financial stability. So yeah, what about you, Lena?
Oh my goodness.
How do you live through this on the show?
I mean, I remember I went to a workshop with a casting director and was like, as a working actress, you have to already accept and be happy that maybe it's really the auditions that is going to be the life of the actress and not the performances themselves. And if you can't find the joy in auditioning, then maybe this is not the right path for you. And so, like, for me, that really helped me reframe the life of being artistic. And it was like, yeah, I have to treat the audition as the end game and show the artistry there.
That's a very good way to reframe it in our head, I think. Because then you can get short-term satisfaction from the audition. Because otherwise you just go months without getting any form of satisfaction from it.
And you go crazy and depressed. And I mean, that's why a lot of artists, are sadly unhealthy mentally and emotionally. And so it's really like, how do we frame things in order to keep, sane?
And I think another thing is, like, we are both lucky because we have a good emotional support around us. Like, we have people that support us and tell us to keep going and pick us up when we're down. I can't imagine, like, we had people in school whose family weren't supportive of their choice. I don't think I could do that.
Okay, but I'm actually curious. I mean, we're both millennials. We're both at a stage in our lives where choosing to be performers, actresses, artists is getting harder and harder. And I guess, what made you say to yourself that, okay, even though I'm at this stage of my life, I still choose this for myself? Like, how come you're still choosing this for yourself? Like, I know a lot of our classmates at this point don't even act anymore because it just gets harder every year. So
no judgment. Are you kidding? No judgment, because also you have like a more rational voice in your head that tells you, you're still young. Invest your energy and your time into a different career path and build a better life for yourself. Because obviously, if both of us decide today, oh no, I actually, I want to go back to law school and finish my degree and become a lawyer, then of course in 10 years we're going to be more stable. Our family is going to be more stable. Like, there's benefits in that. I get it. That's more rational. That's why I don't think I'm fully rational. No, genuinely, like, I'm not. The problem is, and sometimes I wish it wasn't like this, I'm only happy doing that. I'm not happy doing something else. I know that I could do something else.
Yeah.
I'm very type A, was an A+ student in any school course I ever took, and you're the same. I know I could do other jobs very well. I see it in my teaching, if I'm honest. Like, if I just invested in that, that would be totally fine. And I could build a bigger business from it. I don't want to, because it doesn't make me happy. It doesn't thrill me. I like it. I enjoy it. All the little jobs that I'm doing, I enjoy. But just a completely different career path, it would not give me the, I think, dopamine it is, thrill that acting gives me. It's so fun. Yeah, like, I know, like, I think at our age, you have this alarm that starts to go off of like, you're behind in everything.
Yeah.
Because our mothers at our age had children, they were married, they had houses that they had bought that cost like a bag of beans, okay? And so I get that alarm, it goes off and it sets me into a panic. But at the end of the day, like, I wouldn't be fair to myself if I gave up on it, because in 5, 10, 15 years, I know that I would regret it, and I would live with this lingering feeling of, what if I just continued trying, you know? And also I think there's been a slight change in that. Like, what is this bizarre idea that we've been raised with, that roles stop when you're 30? Like, that would mean that people stop living when they're 30. Because technically, if stories are real universal stories, they include people that are also 30 and 40 and 50 and 100. So why are we being fed this idea that all the rewarding storylines or characters have to be 15 or 20 or 25? That doesn't make any sense.
Now that we're at the age that we're at, like, it really shocks me how the world views people who are aged 30 and above.
It's insane. And also because we're saying we're at the age that we are, as if we're like 80 with a cane going, really? What? Do you know that I once had an agent, and this was just a few years ago. So I was like maybe 26, 27, something like that. And he was like, oh yeah, but like, we have to be quick. We have to like try to place you, you know, the good projects right away, because 26, 27, like, then when you hit 30, there's nothing I can do for you, like, when you hit 30. And I was like, what do you mean? Again, what is this death at 30? Like, does something happen that they didn't tell me about? I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I think, and I'm seeing more projects, more stories, books, TV series, films that are about that age, and they don't treat it like life is over.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, even years ago, like, if you look at How I Met Your Mother, they're not 21-year-olds, you know, they're 30-year-olds.
Exactly.
And it's nice to see stories about that. Like, life doesn't end. And definitely you having your life figured out, I don't think.
But as we're talking about our lives not ending now that we're in our 30s.
Hopefully.
Yes. What has been, like, for you, an accomplishment that you're most proud of?
I mean, it really depends. If it's work-wise, then probably like creating the platform I created for myself and bringing it to a point where it's successful enough that if I decided to just do that, it could just be my job, like, on its own. And I like it because, you know, I'm not just doing get ready with me as I
Yeah.
go do a Pilates. And nothing wrong with that, by the way. I consume a lot of that content, so no shade to that. I'm gonna follow your makeup routine and look at what matcha latte you drink. I'll be there. I'll be one of the viewers. But I like that I think what I share online teaches people new things and makes them discover new things. And I love when I get comments that are like, oh, I'm learning so much, or like, every video you post is teaching me something new. And then I see people getting passionate about topics that I think are super interesting, and then they ask me for books, they ask me for more resources. I like that because I think I'm sharing something that has value. Whenever you're learning something, whenever you're enriching yourself education-wise, that's always a good investment of your time. Like, I don't think time can be wasted if you use it to learn something, a skill, something. So I'm very proud of that.
No, but I just wanted to add, like, I really love some of your videos, like when it talks about like Greek laws and how women are so, like the laws are so much harsher on women than men. And I'm like, oh my gosh, even way before. Why are they so mean?
Glenna, seriously, sometimes, and I have to do research to make some of those videos because I have that knowledge from school and university, but I don't have all that knowledge. Like, I need to do research for a lot of those videos. And I'm researching and I'm like, I know we have it bad, but like, thank God we're born in this time and in this part of the world, because we have no idea. I would have been a terrible woman back in the days. A terrible woman. I would have been so annoyed at all the limitations that were imposed on me.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say one last thing that I'm starting to understand in my old age. So these years of my life, that I think you can get a lot of satisfaction from like your work or the dreams that you're chasing, of course. But I do think like the biggest satisfaction comes from what you give people, like what you give people that you love. And if you see that you can affect someone's life and improve the life of, I don't know, like your family or your loved ones, the people that you love, that to me is the biggest satisfaction. Like to know that I am making, your day a little bit better because I'm maybe helping you with that, or I'm solving this problem. And I didn't have this when I was younger. I think that when you're younger, you're a little bit more selfish, a little bit more self-centered. I was. And then when you grow old, the wisdom of the late years teaches you that.
No, but really, I feel like, the way that life is, like, when you're young, you're selfish. Once you are in your 30s, you kind of get like a lot of lessons that kind of humbles you.
Yeah.
But also, it's like the phases of life, like generations. Like right now, the millennials are getting older, and a lot of like our loved ones are passing away, and it's like it's not just one by one, but because they're of a generation, like it's a generation that is like either aging or have passed. And so it's like even more now where we're at, it's like, oh my goodness, I am so grateful that I'm able to like make my mom or
Yes.
and happy, because it's even now that I'm so aware of mortality.
For those of you who don't know, Len and I lived together throughout our 20s.
Yes.
We were
What
roommates.
a beautiful time.
So beautiful, problemless time. I think we were living together in New York. We were going to acting school. And like, I don't know, the situation maybe at home in our countries, because neither of us is from the US. You wouldn't tell from our wonderful accents that they've trained for 3 years. But like, it was such a small part, I think, of our brains that like, maybe there's an issue at home, maybe there's the situation. It's like, but we're the kids. So, it's not up to us to solve it or deal with it. And then that shift happens when you're like, no, I should be fixing that. Like the parent need me to fix that, which is a weight on your shoulders, and at the same time is very gratifying, because especially if you're lucky enough to have a family like the ones we've had that has given us so much, then you want to give back if you can.
So, what are some valuable life lessons that you've learned through your long life in this earth?
Again, people should just guess my age in the comments. It's 80. I have to say that sometimes on my TikTok, I get comments, especially on like the more female-oriented content. I get some 40-year-old white man who comments like, God, Gen Z is just insufferable, twisting history as they want it. And I'm like, you just call me Gen Z.
Thank you.
But let me think. In my long life, yeah, I would just say, one, love is the most important thing in life. Like the people in your life, the most important thing. More than career, more than dreams, more than health, more than anything, the people that you love in your life are the most important thing. And then the other thing is to then make a good choice on who you surround yourself with, like who those people are. Because like for me, I'm someone who can tend to like maybe not change myself, but let myself be dimmed a little bit so as to make the other person comfortable. And I think I did that a lot in my 20s, and that's not something that I would do now. So that's definitely a lesson learned.
Who or what inspires you to keep moving forward even during the tough times?
I don't know. I guess more than who is like seeing projects that I get really passionate about, like whether it's I consume it on TV, it's a film, or it's a TV series, or it's a book, then I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Or like, oh, I would love to be in that, or that's a great story, that's an important story to tell. Then that's more a reminder of like, come on, set your background, turn on your light, do this stupid audition for a one-liner. You never know what it's gonna get you. And then you do.
Yeah.
And then also my wonderful friend who is now able to produce, write, edit, create. Lena does it all, which is really hard because I think the production part is very complicated. And it's so many hats.
Hopefully, one of the shows that I can write, I always say that in everything that I write, I always write Sole in it. So hopefully one of these days, one will just bloom into a blockbuster.
You guys, my first show in New York was written and produced by Lena.
What is a quote, mantra, or belief that you live by?
I'm trying to translate it in English. In Italian, non esiste vento favorevole per il marinaio che non sa dove andare, which means there is no favorable wind for the sailor who doesn't know where to go. Because I think you need purpose. Like,
beautiful. I love that.
And another one that I really like, has nothing to do with this, is Victor Hugo in the Les Miserables. He says, to love another person is to see the face of God. And I love that one too. Yeah. Completely different.
No, I love both.
It's the two personalities.
Okay, how would you describe a remarkable life? What is a remarkable life to you?
A remarkable life is if you've lived your life staying true to who you are, loving a lot, and being loved a lot. I'm sounding so hippie, but I think it's true.
No, I agree. I mean, what use are all like, let's say, your cars or houses or whatnot, if you're alone in them, no one to share it with. Like, you know, I'd rather live under a bridge with 10 people who love me.
100% agree. 100% agree. A war on the bridge, please.
Yes. Where there's no winter.
Thank you.
What are your dreams for the future?
My dreams for the future are to be able to act in fun, inspiring projects, whether that's theater, TV, films. Have the time to write because I love to write, and be sure that my family is happy and safe and okay. Then I would be happy. I would be really content. Yeah. That's how you know I'm old.
Do you have any plans on inspiring others or making an impact? And if yes, what are those plans?
I mean, I don't know if making an impact or inspiring people. I don't think I'm that great enough to be able to do that. But if I can inspire people by sparking curiosity in things, then I would love to continue doing that. Like for me, learning was always a big thing, and my parents really hammered it in me that the more you learn, the more power you'll have, because you'll have awareness when you decide about your life, about the world, your morals, your ethics, your opinion. So if I can share a little bit of that knowledge and get knowledge back, then I'll feel proud enough of myself. And then by being kind to others, encourage them to do the same. I really do think that kindness is a coin that goes around. So I toss it, you toss it, and it's a good connection. Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who is going through a tough time or is like you, chasing their dreams?
We are so small. And if you think about space and the stars and everything around us and how long the Earth has been around and how recent humans are, about diminishing your problems, they're valid, like however big or small, they are valid. But it helps me to put it into perspective of, oh, that didn't go my way. That's such a small thing in my life. Like in 10, 15 years, it is gonna feel smaller. And when it comes to the big pains of life, I think that's different. Like, again, going back to the losing someone, that's probably the hardest thing. I don't really think you can give advice on it. But again, give it time and think. In a whole life, there is going to be a lot of times where you feel that down. And all you can do is just live through it and surround yourself by people that love you and that you love, and they're going to be patient with you. They're going to let you go through it. I don't think there is a point in like avoiding. Like, I know people that they're like, no, just suffocating that feeling or that thought. That doesn't work for me because it just keeps coming back. So I just have to live through it, cry it a lot, be depressed, and then eventually one day I just step out and start to move on with my life. My mom used to tell this story, and I think it's in some mythology of maybe like ancient Near East or Asian Middle East, I forget. But there was this king, and he asked this whatever to create a ring with a thing written on it, engraved on it, and it had to be the wisest phrase ever. It just had to be the wisest phrase ever. And the phrase was, "This too shall pass," because you need it as a reminder when things are going badly, of like, this too shall pass. And you need it as a reminder when things are good, of like, enjoy it now because it's not going to be forever.
This will pass as well.
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't know me as Lena, so
sorry.
Unlike Annasole, I only have 2 names. So my names are Dorothea and Lena. So Sole.
But a gorgeous name, because Dorothea in ancient Greek means gift of the gods, which she is.
Oh, so. Thank you. I'm wondering, I know Sole means sun, but when you put that together, Annasole, does that have a meaning?
I mean, it literally just means Anna, sun. My mom was like, I want something that reminds an element, but it also has to start with an A. And that's how Annasole came to be. It's not common at all. Like, I've never met an Annasole.
Which is beautiful, though.
Thank you, my love.
Okay, we're now down to our last question. So, if you were to share one message with the world, our viewers, what message would that be?
If you're in doubt with other people, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know where they're coming from. Wrong if you choose kindness. If you choose love, you're not going to regret it. Just choose that. A lot of the world problems would be solved if people acted this way, I think. And I know it's not always easy. Like, I get angry all the time. But then I'm like, yeah, just be nice. Be a nice human. That always pays off.
But you know what? Like, having this interview with you and talking to you about these questions and these things, it makes me really engage and be present. And so what a gift to be able to do this.
This was so fun for me, Lena.
So thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.